So now we're actually going to implement writing triangle proofs. So the three methods we have so far are side, 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 and angle, side, angle. And this lesson just focuses on side, 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 and angle, side, angle. However, as we go forward and on your Regents exam, you'll have to decipher which of these methods you will be able to use based on the given information. So we are given M is the midpoint of HP, and angle H is congruent to angle H is congruent to angle P. So again, I'm going to annotate my diagram first with what I know based on that given information. So angle H is congruent to angle P, and M is the midpoint of HP, which means that I know that these two pieces are the same. Right? We discussed that in our first lesson, how we go from that given information to some statements and reasons. So I want to use one of the methods that I have above. I have an angle, I have a side, so I know side, side, side is out. So I'm either looking for another angle and another side. However, they didn't give me any other information about the other sides. So the only thing I can look for is another angle. And you should notice here that we have vertical angles. Yay! Remember in lesson number 2, we said that things to look for are a shared common side, which these triangles do not have, or vertical angles, as that might help you to get that missing piece of information. And so our method here would be angle, side, angle. So I'm going to set up my 2 columns, and again, I'll do a second video if you're going to do the flow proof method. So we always start our proof with our given information. M is the midpoint of HP, and angle H is congruent to angle P. Why do we know that? That is given. So from the given information, I know that HM is congruent to MP. That is the definition of a midpoint. And so I have an angle, I have a side, I need another angle. So I'm going to call this angle 1 and angle 2, and I'm going to say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Vertical angles are congruent. And 4, I now have angle, side, angle as my reason, and I could state the 2 triangles are congruent. Triangle GHM is congruent to triangle RPM. And our last piece is to identify a ridge of motion that would map one triangle onto another. So notice that P is over here, corresponds with H over here. So I can't just reflect over some imaginary line that goes through M. I would have to rotate about point M. And notice that this is 180 degrees through that center. Here's M. Here's my corresponding part, and this makes a straight line. So that's 180. So a rotation centered at M, 180 degrees, would map one triangle onto another.